Hello and welcome to Orbiting Brick, and today's video is similar to stuff I've done before, but also different. It's a space station, but in realism overhaul for once. And so, we have a new 30-ton launch vehicle to launch this space station. Its modules. It's powered by 4 F-1B engines on the first stage. Some amazing waterfall effects on those engines. Anyways, and we're now going to have a fairly normal ascent into orbit, going from Cape Canaveral. And yeah, the main reason I wanted to do a space station was because hadn't done one before, and realized my role wanted to this basically my first crewed mission kind of went wrong. I wanted to see if I could make a crewed vehicle that could actually stay on orbit for long periods of time, which I actually wasn't able to test due to events that occurred later on, which I'll just vaguely allude to, hopefully making you watch until the end of the video. Anyways, yeah, we're currently launching the core module. We're getting close to the end of the first stage burn, I believe. There we go. And igniting two J2X engines. The second stage. Basically, this vehicle has evolved Saturn V in a way, I guess. I added far too many extra words onto that sentence. Anyways, you can see the core module there. I didn't really have an aesthetic in mind when I started building. I just started using the habitation modules and see what I could make. Ended up with something that has a bit of some Soviet influence, I'd say. Also, I probably should say that I actually did name this launch vehicle. It's, okay, I believe it'd be pronounced AMEC. It's named after a volcanic island in Alaska because American, and I feel like volcano is relevant to, it has some relevance here. And also, that was kind of a suggestion from a random name generator. Actually, yeah, I'm thinking back, no, I got the name from this page on KSP engine part making that did have a section on part naming, and it did suggest that for individual engines, and I ended up going with one of the suggestions for the overall rocket. So yeah, I'm not sure what that tangent contributed to the video, but right now we're still just ascending. I'll cut through the rest of the launches later on, since you've seen it once, you don't need to see it again. Now, these engines do not have a deep throttling, so I'm having to make use of the pitch to fine-tune your trajectory. And as you can see there, we do reach orbit. Not very circular, however, so I will plan another maneuver using the J2s to lower our apoapsis. Whilst waiting for that, we can deploy our solar panels, and I've activated the RCS on the space station module. And so we can light up the J2s again, and slightly undershoot a burn. I then tried to turn the thrust limiter down, but again, not a deep throttling, so we end up overshooting now. As you can see, we actually deorbit ourselves, which is suboptimal. So I do raise the orbit again, and then we can jettison the second stage. And so now, while this is functional, we probably should add more modules to this, don't you think? And so, here we have second launch. Again, on the same AMEC launch vehicle. I sincerely apologize if that's being mispronounced, but that's what most pronunciation guide said. And so, yeah, the ascent was nominal until about a minute and 15 seconds, where one of the F-1B engines shut down. Now, I really didn't do anything in response to this. But it did mean that we have to overburn the engine slightly, but that actually somehow didn't cause catastrophic failure, and so we were able to make it successfully into orbit. You can now see the science module that is being carried. It's based off of one of the laboratory modules. It's from stock like Space Station Parts Redux, so it's been configured by Realism Overhaul. And as you can see, I had to time warp 7 days to our this rendezvous trajectory, but we are finally starting to approach the core module. We also have that to tug for propulsion and power during our flight over to the module. And whilst we slowly dock, I want to say that I indeed will, sometime within the next 2 weeks, do a submission to a new challenge on KSP forums. Not gonna say much to, again, keep anticipation and viewer engagement, but somebody out there probably does know what challenge I'm talking about. Anyways, we're now slowly docking, and for some reason, the mod Kerbal Funds decided to bind its menu to the key OW, which is a problem since OW is used for RCS translation controls. As you saw the station there with its two modules, how about we add a third? And so, a bit of a unwanted collision there on the launch. But yeah, this is the third module. It's the inflatable habitation module, as you can see there. A nominal launch. And so we continue our trajectory towards the space station. And there you can see we jettisoned the second stage, and are now using the tug. And we have some fairly close encounters there. And skipping forward, we're already at the station, and can very quickly dock, with some nice light coming off the atmosphere there. Yeah, we can dock and begin to inflate the module, now suggesting one of the tugs, so we have a docking port free for eventual crew launch. And now here is the crew launch. Now, this is where the events that prevent the station from being crewed will occur. As sure, the initial launch goes successfully. And as you can see, the Apollo crew capsule there. Yeah, I really did make this a this Saturn V derivative, didn't I? But there aren't really any other crew capsules in Realism Overhaul. So now, as we continue our ascent, near the end of the first stage burn, we are going to jettison the launch escape tower. And now, whilst I initially did think that the docking port would collide with the escape tower, since it's not the normal Apollo docking port, ground test proved it worked fine. Except, in flight, the launch escape system collided with the docking port. And so this left the spacecraft in a state unable to dock. And very quickly I'll make the decision to abort and quickly terminate the second stage burn. There you go. And now I'll detach the command and service module from the second stage. It will get caught on the fairing, another failure that you didn't account for. But it eventually will get free. And we'll safely re-enter. And we'll make a soft splashdown off the Atlantic coast. Now, at this point, I did not have time to go back and try and fix this vehicle, so yeah, sorry about that. At least you still get the space station construction, and hopefully in another video I can actually get crew to this, maybe using a bit more of an interesting vehicle. So yeah, I want to thank you for watching, please like and subscribe, and goodbye!